What is up, guys? It's your boy Rondo back with another video. Who is the most famous person you know? This is the video we're gonna be reacting to, done by Cut, of course. And I thought this would be an interesting one because I feel like famous people, for the most part, obviously they're people. Okay, they're like me or you, right? And they might have had a life before fame, unless they were famous their whole lives, which is possible if you're the son of a famous person, or you're just a child actor, you just did something so significant when you were just born, you know, or just existing as a young person, young kid, that you just stay famous throughout your whole life. But basically, point is, you know, they know regular people like us, you know, and they are regular, except they just have a lot of people that dick ride them, or, you know, support them and all that. Regular people, I'm sure, do know celebrities and famous people. I'm sure there's a regular old Joe who probably works at a factory that probably knows the president or knew the president. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's possible. But some people also like to lie, so maybe some of these won't be that believable. I don't know.
Who's the most famous person you know?
I guess The Rock's pretty popular.
You know The Rock?
Oh, that I know personally?
Yeah, that you know personally, dude. I'm sure there's a decent amount of regular people. I would say out of this 100, there's gotta be at least a couple that know extremely famous people. At least a couple. Maybe not extremely famous, but somewhat popular, or just famous, you know?
Who's the most famous person you know?
The most famous person I know?
Like
personally?
Answer.
Do I know any famous people?
Oh, wow, I don't know that I
I know anybody famous.
I really haven't met that many famous people.
Does Mickey Mouse count?
You know.
I think my mom's famous. The whole community knows her.
My mom, I don't know. She's got like 1,000 Facebook friends. That's kind of a lot.
I guess. Look, I thought we were talking about like fame, you know what I mean? Like actual celebrities kind of a thing. But if we're talking about just people who are just well known throughout the area, you know, because there's community leaders and community people and city, state people, town people that are very well known, you know what I mean? So there's like different levels to popularity and being well known.
Probably my stepmom, actually. Just won an award for her radio show on like Sirius XM. So,
Okay.
Hi, Mom.
My cousin, he's a rapper.
My sister's name is Julia Bates, and she is an aspiring model.
Is she really famous?
Nice.
She's not really famous. Maybe someday she will be.
Deborah Moore, she's a famous glassblower here in Seattle, and that's my auntie.
I met Dale Chihuly, like the glass blower, when I was like 5 years old, and he drew me like a picture of a turnip that I still have.
The golf player Vijay Singh is like one of my uncles.
My great aunt, who is Pops Hernandez, who is a pop singer in the Philippines.
Edie McClurg.
Okay.
She is in the Ferris Bueller's Day Off movie. She's like a famous comedian. She is my aunt, actually, like my second aunt.
Kiernan Shipka.
Second aunt.
She played Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Her mom's my godmom. Shout out Erin, love ya.
Who's the most famous person you know?
Probably one of my professors from grad school, Dan Allender. He's a psychologist. He's famous for working with trauma.
I used to work with this one guy who's like a pro kendama player, him and his like twin brother.
There are a few porn stars. Coda Filthy.
I'm really good
big.
friends, or was
That's
really
big.
good friends in high school with this person, Mac. His dad is Tom Kenny, who is SpongeBob and the Ice King. That is
No way, that's crazy. Now that's a link I like to see. Wow, SpongeBob and Ice King. That's right, Tom Kenny, bro. Wow, so she knew the son of the guy who voiced SpongeBob. That's a good one.
flex on everyone.
My brother actually cuts Alice Cooper's hair.
One of my friend's grandpa created Pop-Tarts. They call
What? Pop-Tarts?
him Pop-Tart.
Shaka Khan. We're not like, what's up, Shaka? But we know each other.
Rasby is in B2K. We talk about every week.
I have a friend, Lily, Lily Cornell Silver, who is the biological daughter of Chris Cornell.
There's this kid who went to my high school who's like a big DJ now. He produces the like I Love You Baby song.
Well, I went to school with a girl whose dad turned out to be a serial killer. She was in my ceramics class, and one day she was gone. The news was all over that like her dad had been arrested.
Like I've got
Wow, talk about fame. He decided to go the infamous route. Yeah, he knew some girl whose dad was a serial killer. That's crazy. I guess.
a few athletes' phone numbers in my phone, but you know, they were on the bench. They never really got to play.
I knew a Seahawks player.
She was
He'd
hoping
come
to
to
get to
Christmas
play.
dinner sometimes.
What's their name?
I have no clue.
Joe Berger. He played for the Broncos. He went to my high school.
Went to the same high school as Darren Williams. He was a former NBA player.
Who's the most famous person I know?
Maybe Tiffany Haddish. I've known her for a long time.
I got Shang's number. Shang's an old.
Oh, he said Tiffany Haddish before this guy goes on. Tiffany Haddish is a comedian, and I've seen her on many shows and many different things. So that's cool that he knows her. Yeah, that's dope.
He was a former NBA player.
Who's the most famous person I know?
Maybe Tiffany Haddish. I've known her for a long time.
I got Shang's number. Shang's an old black comedian. He was on Def Comedy Jam.
JT, he has his own charity.
Lily Tomlin. I talk to Lily at least once a month.
How did you meet her?
Doing her. Imitating her.
Oh.
I have been a...
Yeah, I was confused at first. Even the fucking producer was like, yo, what do you mean by that, bro? What do you mean by that? Doing her? He was imitating.
A celebrity drag queen for 40 years.
Who's the most famous person you know?
Jinx Monsoon.
I just left set with Jeff Fahey, Kellen Lutz.
Trayvon Bromell. He's an Olympic sprinter.
Is there any perks to knowing a famous person?
There was in college. We got into the bar first. We got to cut the line.
Who's the most famous person you've met?
Benson Boone from American Idol.
Sanjaya from American Idol.
Joshua Bell, one of the world's most famous violinists.
John Callahan, cartoonist, for the Washington Post.
Nate Robinson, basketball player.
I met Brianna Stewart,
No
women's WNBA player. John
Met.
Stockton.
I've met Shaun White in
Met.
my life. Asked him to be my Valentine.
Met. And she said, what about Valentine? Asked him to be your Valentine, or he asked you?
John Stockton.
I've met Shaun White in real life. Asked him to be my Valentine.
I shook hands with JFK. Didn't wash my hands for about a week.
Bill Clinton in Clarksdale, Mississippi. He shook my hands. He had the softest hands I ever touched in my life. Called him Soft Hand Bill.
Soft Hand Bill? That's crazy. Of a lot of these regular people's answers, I don't really like it because you don't really know them. Okay, some of them have answered of, oh, I talked to this person once in a while. That's like actually knowing them. Actually knowing a person, having some kind of friendship with them or a relationship in some kind of way makes sense. I feel like that's somebody you actually know. But I know Drake exists, okay? But it doesn't mean to fucking know him. If you get what I mean, like, as a person. But that's the thing about being a public celebrity. Everybody thinks they know you, if you get what I mean. They think that they know you. But that's because that's the public image that you give out to everybody. Behind doors, when you're off camera, you're just relaxed, or maybe you're not, but you're just your own person, who you really are.
Who do you want to meet?
Samuel Jackson. If Samuel Jackson called me motherfucker, I would love that.
Who's the most famous person you've met?
Jerry Seinfeld one time.
The Long Island Medium.
Max Scale.
I guess we're just asking.
Sergeant
who we
Wojciechowicz
met.
from Barney Miller. We met once IRL and worked on a project together and got in a very big fight.
William Shatner. That's awesome. What was it like meeting him?
He's a curmudgeon.
Tom, is his name Steric?
Tom Skerritt,
So if folks don't know who's Tom Skerritt.
like in the 70s, was a bit of a sex symbol.
Was he?
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw Glenn Close at the airport.
I sat next to Sandra Bullock for an entire flight.
I met this girl from Shake It Up one time when I was 12. Don't remember her name, but I remember she was in the show, and it was a big deal to me at the time.
Conrad Rickham. He was in How to Get Away with Murder.
Thomas Hayden Church.
Damn.
When I was a kid, I got to go on a taping of the show Ned and Stacy, and then I got to have lunch with the cast after that. I could not stop laughing. Very funny man.
Prince.
You knew Prince?
I went to plenty of his concerts. You should have been my baby's daddy.
I had a nice conversation with Missy Elliott.
I've met Marilyn Manson. I was an infant and my mom took me to a book signing.
Macklemore once gave me a drink when I was underage.
Macklemore, deadass?
He didn't know I was underage. My friend gave him a drink because he was performing at this show that we put on. He is sober, and so he turned around and was like, you take this. And I was like, okay.
Who's the most famous person you've met?
Take it.
Joe Coy, the Filipino comedian, he kissed me.
You get his number?
Well, he gave it to me, but that time I was married.
Tom Selleck. I worked with him.
Tough.
The movie Divorce Wars, I was in there.
Were you single when you were hanging out with him?
Yes.
Was there
but
maybe a romance
it just,
that was happening?
We were in a movie together. How's that?
Just a hookup.
I kissed the drummer from the Delphonics back in the 70s.
Cooked for Oprah before. I've met Jay-Z and Beyonce.
That's dope.
I was supposed to go downstairs to push out food with the company that I was working for. He turned around and asked me what's my name, and he just thanked me, and it's just like small talk. But
see, I like that. Now that's really making conversation with somebody, not just saying hi to them at their concert or some shit like that. Like making conversation with these famous people. And you know, this guy said small talk and all that stuff, you know.
When you're a Jay-Z fan your whole life, a minute conversation feel like forever.
Do you know anyone personally who's really famous? Or the most famous person?
Me.
She said fuck that. She know who she is. She's the most famous person she knows. Meeting and knowing someone are two totally different things. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying throughout the whole video, and I just keep getting these names. People are like, oh, I met, or I've seen, or I went to concert of, or I shook hands of. Like, you don't know them. You don't have their fucking phone number, dude. Like, this whole video gives me, she once punched me in the face. It was awesome vibes, and I love it. Yeah, it's still funny, and it's still cool, though. It's still cool. Like, these people got to see some of the people that they idolize in a way. Just cool, I guess. Went from the most famous person you know to the most famous person you met. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's why I was so confused about the video's, like, topic, man. I thought, you know, you guys could have done this better. Some of them were asked who's the most famous person you know, and others who's the most famous person you met. Just enjoy the video, damn. Yeah, you're right. You guys are right. You know, this comment, I give you that. All right. Some of them were asked different questions, so I don't know why they asked different questions, but whatever. Anyways, tell me what you guys think. Who's the most famous person you know? Okay, not met. No, I don't think there's anybody I know personally. Okay, maybe apart from myself having a decent following on YouTube, especially on my main channel, I have like 20K, right? Apart from, I don't really think I know this one rapper. His name's C Glizzy. He's from the area that I live in South Florida, Pompano, for a lot of the areas where you be around. His name's C Glizzy, right? And I got this guy on Instagram. He's got me on Instagram. I told him, look, bro, you know, you make music, I create content, you know, maybe we'll cross paths in the future. I don't know. He would always come to my job and shit, and I'd have talks with him and shit, dap him up and all. You know what I mean? So I guess, you know, he has 100,000 followers on Instagram. So I guess he's someone popular, famous that I know. But anyways, that's it for the video. Drop a like and subscribe if you guys did enjoy. Share this video out with your friends, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.